What's up, what's up, what's up, people? This is your boy Levelhead back with another live and Level Gamers podcast. Yes, 2 podcasts in 1 week, but we had to do it. We had to. Didn't have a choice. Yes, I like that break on that anyway. That sounded good. But we got the boy in the building, Jedi Knight, all the way from overseas. What's up, bro?
What's going on, guys, man? It's good to be back. Good to be back. It's been quite a few months, man. How's everybody doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good.
For sure.
We also got the one and only PlayStation guru himself. What's up?
Man, you always trying to be extra. Yo, what's up, people? It's K-Bone 20, man. Happy to have my boy, my brother from a different mother, Mr. Jedi Knight here, man. We straight kicked it for the first time, man. We met each other overseas, man. We kicked it, man. This is a genuine dude, man. For you guys who haven't got a chance to really meet this guy or talk to him on a real basis, it's a real legit dude, man. Had a blast with him.
I really appreciate that, man. Definitely feel the same. Me and the wife, we was actually talking about, the meetup, and we're gonna be in the States soon, but we'll definitely talk about that off the air for sure.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be overseas next April, man. We might be trying to come through, so I'll let you know what the plans look like.
All right, definitely sounds like a plan, man.
Yeah, man, we're gonna have to talk about that little visit y'all had in the past, man. That we wanted to talk about it back then, but again, we was kind of missing each other on the podcast. So, but yeah, man, this is episode 128. Hopefully, Keith Norris will be able to jump on. But yeah, man, I'm feeling this beat, this Jay Dilla instrumental. I don't know, man. I just been in this New York state of mind, Jedi.
Hey, man, I can understand it. I wish that New York would get back on a New York state of mind. I don't know what we've been doing. I've been on my Kendrick Lamar, to be honest.
Yeah. Now, I think Jay Dilla, ain't he Chicago, if I'm not mistaken, but he produced for a lot of cats out of New York and everything like that. But
all right.
Yeah, man, this beat hot to me. So I had to play it. I couldn't help it. But anyway, man. So we're gonna do it like this. We're gonna start with Mr. New York, and see what he's been gaming on since we haven't heard from him in about 2 months and some days. So go ahead, bro. What you been gaming on?
Man, I've been trying my best to game, and just given life stuff, I haven't really been able to. The last game I've actually been playing is chess on a Nintendo Switch. I purchased the Chess Master game on there. And yesterday, the day before yesterday, actually, I went out. It's like a Best Buy in Germany. It's called Media Markt. It's similar to Best Buy. I went to go buy a dryer, and I picked up the season 2 of the Telltale Batman series. So once this podcast is over, I'm actually going to put that into the PlayStation and start rocking that. So that's what I've been gaming on for the most part.
Okay. K-Bun, what you been gaming on since this past Thursday?
Actually, since this past Thursday. So I've been still gaming on the Madden, doing the MUT squads, playing with a couple of my partners, putting in some work. I haven't played too much Call of Duty, but what I actually played, I downloaded about a couple of days ago, because I've already started the gameplay of it. But I've been playing Horizon Zero Dawn again. I've gotten back into that since I got the PlayStation Pro, and I've gotten back into the game itself. And I have to say, man, I really like it. I've spent some time away from it, maybe like 3 months away from it, because my multiplayer games came in with Madden and Call of Duty and 2K, and I get on my multiplayer kick, and I don't really play single player too much. But I popped this game back in because I got tired of. I don't play 2K as much anymore, and my buddies went on to Madden, so I started to play Horizon Zero Dawn. Especially, I want to see how it looked on the Pro. Granted, I don't have a 4K TV, still 1080p, but the game, you can tell the game actually looks better with the Pro. One thing I've been saying to another partner of mine who has a Pro, and we talked a little bit about it, is that I wasn't expecting the games to look as good as they do on my standard 1080p. I thought there was no reason to get a Pro if you had a 1080p TV, but I am absolutely wrong. games actually look cleaner. They look crisp. You don't have anti thing with the jagged lines that fix the jagged lines, anti something.
Aliasing.
Yeah. You really don't have that anymore with the Pro, and you have better frame rate. So I've been liking the Pro. Like I said, I've been liking Horizon Zero Dawn. Actually, I kind of said to Level off the air that playing Zelda has actually got me a little bit better at playing Horizon Zero Dawn. Because both games specializes in using a bow and arrow. And I think from my experience playing Zelda and shooting with the bow and arrow, it's a little bit more difficult than playing with Horizon Zero Dawn. Because of the way the graphics engine works in Zelda, you actually have to arch your shot a little bit. It's not like a bullet. It doesn't go directly to the target. You kind of have to arch it so that it falls and the parabola that it takes when it goes to the target, it actually falls and hits the target at the right spot. And doing that has actually made me a better shot at Horizon. So, yeah, like I said, I like the game. I like Horizon. I'm gonna try to get more into it. The map is huge, but playing Zelda, I don't know which map is bigger. But there's definitely more danger in Horizon than it is in Zelda, because these mechanic monsters are just crazy, and they will kill you in seconds. And so yeah, so I'm enjoying Horizon. It's a good game. That's what I'm pretty much gaming on.
That's what's up. As far as the map, I think Zelda's map is bigger, but you're definitely right on what's filled with probably more activity is Horizon from what I've researched. Correction on where Jay Dilla is from. He's from Michigan, Detroit, Michigan. I got that wrong. He wasn't from Chicago. From Detroit, Michigan, but he produced for Tribe Called Quest, Busta Rhymes, and many of them old school veteran New York rappers, man. So anyway, as far as me, I haven't been gaming since Thursday. I've been playing with my new toy, which is a Ultra 4K Blu-ray player with all the HDR bells and whistles, and I went out and bought me some movies, and I'm going to be watching some more tonight. I just realized, man, Ultra HD Blu-rays are expensive, and I think I'm going back to the regular Blu-rays. I think I jumped in. I'm gonna quickly have to jump back out into either regular DVDs or phased out, and Blu-rays take that position, and Ultra Blu-rays go down to the price of Blu-rays, because I went to Best Buy the other day and bought 2 Ultra HD Blu-rays, and I was going to buy a $20 Switch currency card to get that what is that? The Resident Evil Revelations. And I looked at the price of them 2 movies. I put that card right back on the wall. It's like, you know what? We'll wait till after Christmas to get you, buddy.
I got a couple of questions on that.
Yeah.
I purchased the 4K, but it's being delivered, and I don't have much, experience with 4Ks. Do the 4K screens, do they upscale the inputs? Like if you have games or, movies and so forth, is there any upscaling that occurs with the 4K televisions?
Mine does. I don't know if all of them does it, but mine do. I got that Sony Bravio. I can't remember what particular model it is. I think it's the mid-tier model. It's not the highest end of the Bravios. It's somewhere in. It's one of the TVs in between the base model and the highest model. Mine's upscales it. It does HDR. It upscales any signal I pull into it. It upscales it. It makes it look better. I can't say it upscales it to 4K because I don't know if it can stretch.
So I guess the Switch games is looking super crisp on there.
Yeah, my Switch games look nice on there. I mean, but it also exposes some of the things that you might not want to see. Some of the jaggy, some of the less polished,
flat textures.
But when I was playing LA Noire, I noticed that when I was driving the car, you can literally see the how some paint jobs on cars got like a little grainy texture look to them.
Okay.
And you can literally see that just popping off the screen on my TV. Now I don't know how that is on another like a 1080p based TV, but mine it definitely pulled all that out. But yes, mine does it. What particular model do you got?
I got a LG C7.
Oh yeah, you in there. Is it HDR ready?
Yeah, I got Dolby Vision HDR 10.
Oh yeah, you ready. I think yours does. Because that's that in-between model. That's the in-between model for them.
Yeah, I was looking at some reviews and all, and it was talking about upscaling, but I wasn't sure if it was just upscaling like with movies, for example, or streaming stuff from the net. I just wanted to make sure that when it comes to consoles, the reason why I asked is if it's upscaling, for example, my PlayStation, then I may not even get a PlayStation 4 Pro. If I'm able to upscale it to 4K regardless, then, I may have to just say, look, I'll just handle the PlayStation 4 and, just call it a day. But that'd be super cool.
Well, I'll say this. On my PlayStation 4, when I bought Ratchet and Clank for the PlayStation 4, and I set the HDR settings on there, it was noticeably different than from the TV that I used to have. That was it was a 2K, but it was a cheaper version, so it really just did 1080p. That's what I really think it was doing, even though it claimed it could do 2K. When I put the PlayStation 4 on this current TV, the Bravio, visual went to a whole nother level. So yeah, I think it even makes the PlayStation 4 look better.
All right, yeah, and that Ratchet and Clank game in general looks beautiful.
Yeah, and I mean, because you can set the HDR settings even at 1080p and it's still gonna do something. And the PlayStation 4 got that update to where it has HDR capabilities in it now.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they had that update back. What was that patch on the PlayStation 4 K-Bomb where they added that HDR setting on the regular?
Was it 4 or was it 5 operating systems? One of those two.
Yeah.
It's like back this. It wasn't back in the summer. It was back earlier than that.
Yeah, I think it might have been even last. It might have been early this year, last year.
It might have been update 4. I think update 4 did it. 4.0.
Yeah. So yeah, you could take advantage of on your regular PlayStation 4. You could still take advantage of the HDR settings, even at 1080p. You're gonna notice a drastic, dynamic difference, man. But when I go into my vivid setting on my TV, all the visuals go to a whole nother level. But it ain't dynamic range, but it still makes it look way better than a regular 1080p TV would do it. So, but I will still say you're not going to get what a PlayStation Pro would do, but I thought the same thing. It looks good enough for me. I don't need a PlayStation Pro.
All right.
So, but anyway, so yeah, that's what I've been doing. I just been playing with my new toy. Right now I bought Cars yesterday, and what's that movie with Rihanna in it as a character in it? I can't think of the name of it right now.
With the blue little guy.
Yeah.
Is it Up or it's not Up? It's
No, it's not an animation. It's the movie that was made by the same people that made Fifth Element.
It was the animation movie when she was the lead character.
No, she's not the lead character in this one. She's another character. I'm gonna go up there and get the box, and I'll come down and tell you what it is. But I bought that, and I got Planet of the Apes, the third one. So I'm probably watch them two movies tonight. So anyway, but yeah, so that's what I've been on, not gaming, but movies. But I can't keep paying $30 for a DVD, Ultra Blu-ray disc. I can't do that. That's too much money for a movie. $30.
What about Netflix?
Netflix
got Ultra HD content?
Yes, Netflix got Ultra HD content, and I didn't realize that. Like my kids, I got the two little girls and my 6-7-year-old girl. They like to watch Netflix all the time, so I put on Smurfs, the animated movie Smurfs, and I guess Netflix had just put that movie in 4K visuals. And Jedi, when I say I was talking to I said, don't that look way better than it used to look? And I didn't know that it was in 4K. I'm like, why does it look like I can literally touch that? I was like, I was bragging on the TV. I'm like, man, this TV is awesome. And it was the fact that Netflix had bumped up some of their movies into 4K resolution. So yeah, you'll get it even through even Tubi or Tubi TV does it. Got some movies that will pop off your screen, man, and it's for free. So Tubi, is it Tubi or Toby? Tubi TV. I think that's what they call that. But yeah, you'll be able to take advantage of all them in Netflix. They got a whole lot of movies in 4K now. So
cool.
So yeah, man. Long as you're wireless. I don't know if you got it wired or wireless. Long as it, I ain't had any buffering issues, but I put it in that I guess that 5G whatever, and it stays. It's pretty fast. So on my Spectrum internet provider, got that 5G channel I can tap into. That it's faster than the regular signal.
All right, yeah, I got a hard connection. I got like this box that you plug it into the wall and it uses your electrical connections throughout your house, basically as an extension of your network. So I use my outlets. My outlets are part of my network in the house. I'm not sure if you guys ever heard of that. Have you heard of those in the States? I'm not sure if they have them.
Yeah, I've heard of those.
All right, cool. Yeah, those are awesome, man. It allows you to have high connections, and you don't have to have wireless everywhere. I mean, unless for your devices like tablets and all. But when you have computers in other rooms, your entire apartment or your entire house is part of your internet connection with these boxes.
That's what's up. I heard of, but I don't know anybody that actually has it here. But I have heard about devices like that. But that's pretty cool, man. They over here trying to basically, well, I think everywhere trying to take away that. What they trying to do with internet now? Everybody getting upset.
Net neutrality.
Net neutrality. I've heard about it.
I hope that don't pass, bro.
But man, it's the business making that money, man. They trying to keep that money flowing, because if you can monitorize the internet, you know what I'm saying, this company can make a whole lot more money.
Right, and it can filter out, or not filter out, but it can kind of unjustly infringe on the smaller guys or anybody that they don't want to get any coverage or any be seen. They can basically push them out through pricing them out and stuff like that. So that ain't good. But anyway, let's get into this, man. Since we got Jedi Knight back. We skipped this topic this past Thursday, so I guess we could pick up there, and then wherever this thing go, it goes. Of course, last week or this past holiday, well, Thanksgiving weekend, you got Black Friday, then you got Cyber Monday, and then some people do Cyber Week. They ain't just Monday, but it looks like Switch and I think Sony has dominated Black Friday. And what it's looking like is Switch dominated all. Like right now, they saying the Switch was the number one selling device. Was it digital? Oh, not digital. Cyber or like Amazon and all that, where you buy online. It was the number one selling device.
Yeah, it was the number one device for the Cyber Monday of all devices, not even like gaming consoles.
Right.
It was the highest selling device, period. The Switch was killing.
And then on top of that, it also was dominating. It dominated Japan, and it also dominated Black Friday. The only difference is, since Nintendo does not release their numbers and something like that they couldn't say the exact number, but based on some of the things that they can check, like the algorithms or something they can check, that they know that the number of sales for Switch were amongst the highest for Black Friday as well. And Sony broke a record. The Sony PlayStation 4 sold the most systems this Black Friday than any other system in any Black Friday for Sony. So they did pretty good.
Yeah, I think they did. From what I heard, this was the most successful Black Friday in gaming history since it's been, a thing.
Right.
The cool thing about the Nintendo Switch, though, is that it dominated Black Friday, it dominated Cyber Monday and Cyber Week, and it was without a price cut. So what the Switch was doing was selling at its retail price. So it also goes to show that the price that the Switch is selling for is a sweet spot. It is an affordable console, and it has a use case that's outside of being the same thing as everybody else within this space. Nintendo, they did a phenomenal job with this. I got to give them credit for it.
Right. Yeah. K-Bar?
Yeah. So yeah, with both of these consoles, especially I know the PS4 was sold out a lot of places. I know on Twitter, I saw people saying they were having a hard time getting the PS4. One of my buddies who was trying to buy a PS4 for his son was having a hard time trying to buy one because it was sold out in his area. And that $299 price cut was just spectacular for the PS4. That's a whole $100 off. Sorry, $199. The $199 price cut was just spectacular. And it really brought it down to a real affordable price. And people were like, you can buy this for the kids. You can buy this for, anybody. And it was it did really good. And also pretty happy that the Switch was able to do what it was able to do, like Jedi Knight was saying, without a price cut, which is pretty doggone big to be able to sell that. But like we said before, the big issue with the Switch and why it wasn't, they could have done more is just because they couldn't get enough units to sell. That's one of the biggest issues with the Switch is that they just needed more systems so they can keep selling them. So what's up, Keith? What's up, brother?
What's up, man? What's up? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, man. What's going on, Keith?
Going on, Jedi Knight. What's up?
Chilling, brother. No, man.
Your mic sound a little muffled.
Yeah, hold on. Let me try something. Hold on. I'll be right back.
All right. Yeah. So that's pretty much how I felt about it. Levelhead.
Okay. Yeah,
both people.
Dude, I wish I would. I bought the Ultra 4K Blu-ray player for a little bit over $100, and I found out that the Xbox One S's were going for like maybe $50 more than what I spent on that. And I was like, should I have just went and got that and got a Blu-ray player and an Xbox One S? But I was like, my wife would have went upside my head. She's like, don't you got one of them things downstairs? So I didn't do it. So I ended up buying her a Christmas gift. She been something she wanted for her job and what she be doing, and she needed a new laptop. So I bought her one of those too. So yeah, man. I wasn't here in my hometown. I was actually up north in St. Louis, and I was in Illinois as well because her family's over across the bridge in St. Louis. So I went to a Best Buy in Fairview. I said Fairview somewhere over there. Fairview Heights. And man, when I tell you that people were buying PlayStations and Xboxes and Switches, that was like the largest line in the store. It was in the gaming department. And I was literally like, man, this is crazy. And they just had boxes and boxes and boxes stacked up, letting you know that there was enough for whoever and anybody who want one. And I went and looked at to see if the PlayStation 4 Pros, what price they was, and the Xbox One X's to see what price they were, just to see what people were spending on them. And I saw a lot of people in the Nintendo aisle, like a lot of people. And I saw a lot of people in the PlayStation aisle. I'm not going to lie and say I saw a lot of people in the Xbox. I didn't, but it was a few people there. But Nintendo and Sony lines was packed out. So, but I do know a lot of people did buy Xbox One S's because that price was just, $180. That wasn't a bad price. So.
How were the sales for the Xbox One X?
Well, they saying some are saying like they moved about 600?
600,000 or 600?
600,000.
Okay, 600,000.
That's what they estimating. Yeah, that's what they
estimating. I don't think. I mean,
I'm just saying what the estimate.
That
I
would
don't know.
surprise me if it was 600,000.
I know the last thing I read that the people that do the numbers and stuff are saying that they project that the Xbox moved around somewhere around 600,000 across, S's and X's, and they said that's the lowest selling device of the three. So I don't know how it's gonna be.
That's not bad though. If they
that's not bad. If the Nintendo was number one of any device on Cyber Monday and that Cyber Week, then I can see Xbox possibly selling that much, because that meant people were really buying systems and gaming system. And it seemed like gaming systems were the attraction of this Black Friday.
Yeah, but I don't think the X didn't have even with the Pro ended up getting a price cut, even though it wasn't advertised. The Pro ended up getting a $50 price cut. But I don't, because I'm almost sure that the Xbox X did not. Not saying that that affected the sales of it. But I'll be surprised that it moved as many as you're saying.
Okay, I don't know. That's what I read. Now, how accurate that was, it might have been a fake article I was reading, but the same article I was reading was talking about how Nintendo was number one for Cyber Monday and Cyber Week, and how PlayStation broke its own record. So it had to be factual, because all that was fact. So I assume that 600 was correct too. So maybe it's wrong. I don't know. But they did but Nintendo and Sony absolutely dominated this Black Friday weekend, man. So let's go into this, and I don't know, Keith, you got your mic together now, or you good, or are you still working on it?
Yeah, I'll just listen to y'all. I didn't have anything to add to that.
Oh, that sounds good. You sound good now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I changed my headphones. I'm not at home right now, so.
No, yeah, that sounds way better. So, I am getting feedback though.
Yeah, it's an echo.
But let's go here. I want to get Jedi Knight thoughts on this. We talked about this last week, but I'd love to hear what he think. What do you think about this whole fiasco with EA and loot boxes, and is it considered gambling? What's your opinion on that, Jedi?
Well, my general feelings on EA. I think that they've gone the business route, and they forgot that it's also about the games as well, and they're trying to monetize every single thing in the game, and it's like, why do this? What I didn't like is what I heard in regards to the Battlefront 2 is that you have characters such as Darth Vader that when you buy the game, they're not even part of the game. It's like you either have to pay for the character or you have to grind to get the characters. It's like you shouldn't have to buy or grind to get main characters in a game like this. It's kind of like buying a Super Mario game and not being able to play with Super Mario. You see what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. But the microtransactions, it's gonna harm EA, and I'm hearing that they're doing more of it. There's microtransactions in UFC to where you can actually pay to win.
Yeah, I heard that. I just heard about that.
But I hope that the gaming community does something about it, because it seems like their backlash in respects to the Star Wars game got Disney's attention. Hopefully, they get UFC's attention, and then hopefully we can do something about Madden, because I would love some different type of football.
Go kind of expand on the UFC situation. Like, I heard people talking about it, but I didn't really hone in on what they were saying or what was actually what EA was accused of with what you just said. But what's going on with the game that got those who bought it or are playing it right now upset?
Basically, what's occurring is when you are playing the game, you can get different features, like different types of punches and kicks and so forth. But these type of moves will cause more damage, right? There's special moves, but you have to grind to get them. Or you can buy loot boxes and get them. So what's occurring is people are paying to upgrade their characters, and now they're overpowered, and then the people who are just doing the typical grind to success, they can't compete with people who are buying these new moves that provide more damage and stuff. So it's making the game unbalanced.
Right. So it's basically like you buy Street Fighters. It's like you buying Street Fighters, and Ryu can't do the Hadouken unless you buy that. But you can do the kick and punches, but other people buy the uppercut, the roundhouse, and the Hadouken, and you gotta basically grind to get that, or buy it yourself, or you at a disadvantage. Basically,
pretty much.
Please don't give them any ideas. Please don't give them any ideas on that.
I'm just saying. I'm just trying to make what D2K, what Jedi was saying about that game understood in something I understand, because I seen the game and I was watching some of the moves that they were doing with the UFC fighters. I was like, I ain't never seen that in the game. One dude jumped off the fencing and did this roundhouse kick, this double roundhouse kick. I had never seen that. So if that's a move that you gotta either purchase or grind for, yeah, I can see folks getting frustrated, with the game, because that's like me having to drop $20 on get Ryu's special attack to do his combination move, or to do Akuma's what's that one move where he grabs you and then they go blank and about 100 hits and he stand there in the 10 showing his back. Like, if I gotta pay for that, I ain't buying Street Fighters. and
that's really the problem here. The problem isn't necessarily them trying to be successful as a business. The problem is spending $60 only to spend more money. What is the purpose? On the consumer's end, if the consumer is purchasing something, they should have the ability to be able to say that their purchase means something. And it's different from what they do in Madden, because I play Madden, right? Or at least Madden 17. I haven't played Madden 18. But in Madden 17, I've never played Madden Ultimate Team. I've never played MUT. But I can play Madden and be okay with the functionality that I expect from a Madden game. What's occurring is these loot boxes and these paying to win, they're interfering with people who are paying for the game to play the game. That is the problem. They can get away with this in Madden because they have MUT separated from the classic Madden game. In Battlefield and now UFC, it's interfering and it's causing problems. EA is destroying themselves.
I agree. My speaker just fell off. That's why I just heard that big bang. I don't know why it's doing it. Go ahead, K-Bomb or Keith, who want to add to that?
Yeah, I'm not going to spend too much time on it because we talked about it the other day, but it's for the sake of money, man. EA is trying to make, milk everything they can from the consumer. And the thing is, what the problem is that it was successful the first time. So the first time they kind of did this, it was like, this kind of works. I think they threw some multiplayer inside of Mass Effect, and it was like, this kind of works. Maybe we should try another game. And I think it was successful in another game. And then they put the MUT thing inside of FIFA, and it was like, well, that's a lot of money here. We should put it in everything. And that's kind of how it kind of led to it, because every EA product, from NBA Live to FIFA to Madden to Need for Speed to Battlefield to Battlefront to Battlefield, every last game has these microtransactions. You cannot show me I think Unravel and Mirror's Edge were probably the last games that did not have this microtransaction because it was successful. But luckily, people are catching on, man. And people are like, we're not going to continue to stand for this, which I am so happy as a gaming community, that we're making that decision, because this is an absolutely terrible practice by a company. And I'm happy we're standing up. And again, my issue was last time I talked is that EA should not be the only person being led to the slaughter, because there are more people who should also be in this conversation with these loot boxes who are just doing just as bad as EA.
Yeah, you just took that right out of my mouth, but I was going to give Keith a chance to jump in here before I said that. But you're right. Activision is guilty. There's a few other folks guilty. But go ahead, K-Bum, not K-Bum, but Keith. Add your.
No, I'm just sitting back, and I'm sorry if there's an echo. I can't really do anything about that.
It only echoes when we talk. You good?
Oh, okay.
As long as you mute, you straight.
Okay, cool. I'm sitting back thinking about EA, and like they're geniuses in a way. As much as we hate them, they are securing licensings like the Maddens and the football license and Star Wars things like that. And we hate them for what they're doing, but they're staying afloat. And I hate it. And like K-Bone said, us gamers, we need to continue to stand together, stand up against these guys when they do these things. But man, I hate the fact that I have to give them credit on that because they're still making money by getting these licenses. Like if they got the NBA license, oh my God, it'd be chaos. But anyway, I didn't really add too much because like we kind of talked about it Thursday. And would you consider amiibos?
You just went where I was going. Go ahead.
I'm just gonna ask the question: would you consider amiibos the same thing? Can we throw Nintendo in that boat too? That's all I want to say.
Man, it's like you read my mind. Mute your mic real quick. That's an interesting question because I was thinking about what was the game I was going to say before that, but you took me to where I'm going. Is amiibos? Can you throw amiibos in there? I don't know because I don't know. And part of me wants to say no, but then the other part want me to say yes because of certain aspects about how they're doing the amiibos, how many they're making all these different characters. That they're making, kind of forcing you because you want to get catch them all or buy them all, like Pokemon. You want to buy them all. I can't necessarily say it's the same as what EA is doing because it ain't. You have the choice to buy that or not. I don't think it gives you does it give you a competitive advantage in Smash and stuff like that? I don't know because I haven't bought not one amiibo, so I don't know.
I'd like to take a crack at that, actually.
Go ahead.
And I don't think it is the same. And I don't want to sound like, a Nintendo homer here, but with EA, what they're doing, it's a direct situation to where it creates unbalance in the game. If you purchase a Zelda amiibo and then you use that amiibo to play Zelda's a one-player game. Right?
Right.
If you use Smash, for the most part, these are cosmetic things. You probably will get a new costume or so on and so forth. It doesn't give you a competitive edge.
Right.
That's the problem. With the EA situation, players are getting a competitive edge by spending money. With amiibos, people are getting they're getting an actual piece of
physical
memorabilia, for example. They're getting something in return for their money. Those items, those amiibos, can be used in multiple games, but for the most part, when it comes to competitive action, at least from what I've seen, it's nothing but cosmetics in the game. It's not a competitive advantage.
Well, to jump on the back of that, Jedi, the guys who are being blamed for this is not just increases in performance. There's also Overwatch, who was also being brought down in that lawsuit about gambling, and their loot boxes are just cosmetics. There is no competitive edge that you can get. It's just cosmetics. But I will agree. I do not think that the amiibos are the same as loot boxes. You have to understand what loot boxes is. You know what you're getting when you're buying an amiibo. It is not inside of a mystery box. And then, so what would make this the same thing is that if that amiibo you were trying to buy was inside of a closed box, and you would buy it, and you would get a random amiibo. And then you would say, you know what? I don't want this amiibo. I really wanted that Star Fox amiibo. And so you go buy another box, and you get it back in crap. It's not the Star Fox amiibo. So you got to buy another box. Like that would be the equivalent to the way loot boxes work in video games, because you buy that one amiibo, you're buying the guy that you want. The way loot boxes work and the way that it creates that addiction is that you go and buy it trying to get something you want, and you get something randomly back. That is what creates and makes that addiction, and what makes loot boxes completely different than amiibo. What amiibos are, they're gouging you in a different way.
That's what, that's what I was alluding to.
Being gouged, but it's in a different way, and it's much more tangible than the loot boxes, because like it is physical and can be used. You're being gouged, but it's different. It's playing on your love for toys, but it's not playing a part of gambling. Like they put it in a mystery box and you had to buy it randomly. Now we're talking about the same thing.
Yeah, I agree with what you said. And I'm bringing Keith back in here, but yeah, that's what I was alluding to, is the way that Nintendo gets you is making a whole bunch of different models, characters, and if you are a Nintendo enthusiast and Nintendo, with the nostalgia and wanting to have, Princess Toadstool or Toadstool or Koopalin or King Koopa or Mario or Luigi or Zelda, then that forces your hand to like, I got to go buy this. Or they made a new model, or they got a new pose, I got to go get that one. But like Jedi was saying, you can use it on multiple games to get cosmetics and different perks within that game that does not change or give you an advantage or a competitive advantage in any kind of way. So yeah, I agree with what K-Bum said. But come on, Keith, what you got to say?
I'm going to stretch. I'm going to really stretch this. All right, so K-Bum said that you can go out and buy the amiibos that you want. I wanted the Star Fox one. That's what he said. Okay, so you go out and buy the Star Fox one in hopes that Nintendo brings out a game that actually utilizes it. Sure, you can use it in Smash Brothers, but that's it. You can't use the Star Fox amiibo in anything else. So you're bonded with the hopes that Nintendo's actually going to use it the way that they say that they're going to use it. Now, I could be stretching that, but that's the way I see it. I see it as still kind of a form of gambling, because you're still hoping, even though, you can use the Smash Brothers. What is it in Smash Brothers? You can make the characters, you can fight them, and they get better, and they learn your techniques, and you can play against them, and you can get better in the game or something like that. I think that's how they use.
You could train your Smash Bros, and it learns your techniques and fighting style, and then it can actually, I think, play itself or something like that. I don't know if it's like some AI in the amiibo that learns your way of playing or something like that. But because one of my boys, a younger guy that I was cool with, he had an amiibo when I first bought Smash Bros on the Wii U. He brought his amiibo over, and I think it was playing on his own and stuff and doing all kind of stuff. And I was like, man, what the crap? And he had all these different things. He had worked it up too. But again, he did that. He didn't pay for that to do that. He did it, and it replicated his fighting style. So it's still a little different. But yeah, I get what you're saying, Keith, but I still think K-Bum, kind of in my opinion, what K-Bum said is what I was alluding to, is it doesn't give you a competitive advantage in the sense that what EA and Activision is doing with their games, but how they come at you is that nostalgia and Nintendo enthusiasts, you just want to, because you so used to buying their stuff, they make so many that you keep buying it, even though some of them do the same thing that the other one do. So, but it ain't gambling, so you don't have to buy that stuff. So basically, that's on you. So I guess I can't say it's the same, at least not at this point. So yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
All right, cool. I was booted out of the room. I mistakenly signed out, and now I see myself twice in a room. But it's good.
So yeah, man. But yeah, K-Bum was also right on this. We can't just blame EA. Activision is doing this. What else? There's another game that's caught doing it.
In the comic section, we was talking about like Injustice and Mortal Kombat X also has it.
Yeah. All these games, a lot of these games are starting to do it. And yeah, if we don't stop, if we don't come together as a community, as gamers, young and old, yeah, it's going to drastically change how gaming is done. And I'm glad that they're getting caught. And I'm glad that governments and different agencies and people are bringing lawsuits and questions up to these companies to, you know what I'm saying, hone in their practices and, you know, basically predatorial practices against gamers and praying. Because I read this one article where some kid basically amassed around $10,000 on their parents' credit card from loot boxes.
Yeah, I saw that too. That's crazy.
Dude, if my kid did that, I think me and my wife would have been on, took them out back, you know, but you know, I don't know if you know about biblical stuff, but back in the day, you could take a kid out. And your life is done, son.
That's funny.
Chain him up, take him on out of here. $10,000? Like, dude, what are you on loot boxes? So it is predatory practices because if the parent don't, and I know this is another thing we got to talk about, man. These developers, and this is something I want to go in, and I told Cable and I was going to bring it up. But these companies, I don't know if I should blame developers. I won't blame the developers for the loot crates and all that stuff and the microtransactions. But some of the stuff that they're putting in these games that these parents that are not gamers, that don't follow this thing, and all they see is a toy, they are playing that to their advantage with these games. I was telling K-Bum, and I'm going to let you in here, Jedi. I see you unmuted. I was telling K-Bum about Doom and how as I was playing Doom, I started noticing some of the imagery and symbolism in the game. And I know about that stuff because, you know, I'm a minister. I know about these things. And I'm seeing the Baphomet in the logo. I'm seeing all kind of satanic stuff. And I'm like, I told my older son, like, take my girls out of here. I don't want them looking at this screen with all this stuff on there. And we was up at my mother-in-law, my in-laws' house, and they was playing Call of Duty. And I knew about Call of Duty 5, but my mother-in-law didn't, but it was hooked up to the TV, and the Xbox One X been down there. And they been had this game on there. She just happened to be down there, and they was playing it, and it's doing all the cussing and all the things and different things. It's like, who letting y'all play this? And we got into a conversation. So it is predatory practices going across the board in some of this stuff with the loot crates, with the microtransactions, and some of the content within the game itself. What y'all got to say about that?
Yeah, I think there's a mixture of things going on here. One, the expenses that the money it requires to develop these games today, you know, with all of the bleeding edge technology and, you know, the development teams. And the second thing is the mobile market. I think what developers have been doing is kind of trying to implement a lot of the mobile aspects of gaming into the console, because these loot boxes, they're similar in ways of like free to play, how the mobile aspect will get you into a free to play game, and then you end up spending more than you ever would have if you would have just paid a regular retail price for that game. If it's a game that you are really enjoying and, you know, you invest in that capacity. And I think that what these developers are doing, they're implementing those areas. As for the content, yeah, man, I mean, that's what it is. Well, it's funny because when we go back into the early and mid 90s and we see how Nintendo didn't want blood in Mortal Kombat, and people were pulling their hair out when they seen that when Johnny Cage hit F-Zero, it was sweat and not blood. Mm-hmm. Now, I mean, we've graduated from that to seeing, you know, what we're seeing in games like Doom. And this is not like new. This has been around, right? So yeah, maybe Nintendo was on to something. I don't know. Yeah.
Who wanted to take on? Because me, go ahead, K-Ball.
So a couple things I want to touch on, and I think I just lost my train of thought when Jedi was talking about I was trying to respond back to what he said. man, I just had it when he was talking.
You talking about the developers and the mobile aspect, or
yes, yeah. There we go. I've been saying that for probably a couple years now. Almost every other podcast is that mobile gaming has shown these console developers how to make money. I've been saying that. I mean, you can go back to almost any other podcast we've had, and you're going to hear me at some point in the podcast say that mobile gaming has shown console developers and developer heads how to make money continuously. Because, as you said, Jedi, it's the same thing they use for a free to play. The thing with a free to play is that it's free to play. These console games off the bat is costing you $60, and then you're paying on top of that, which makes it even worse. But they completely showed them how to do it. And as far as the content of games, so I'm torn in two different ways. One way is this. One thing we need to understand is that video games are not always made for children. Some people forget that video games are created by adults and sometimes are made for adults. And sometimes I can understand the adult themes that happen in video games because it's not for little Johnny. This game is not for little Johnny. Little Johnny should not be playing GTA 5. I'm sorry.
You're right. And
with
the
adult themes in GTA 5, little Johnny shouldn't be playing it. But the part that I'm torn is that when it comes to when stuff is taken over the edge with the demonic imagery, I don't get into that, and I don't even play those type of games because I understand what's behind some of that stuff. People may think, some of the stuff is, it's just what it is, and it's just letters and words and stuff. That there's nothing true behind symbolisms and stuff like that. I'm gonna get too far into that, but I believe that there is something behind all of that, and so I wouldn't even play certain games because of the imagery that is portrayed. But I think that's still a little bit different than just saying this is a game with adult themes. I think that's a little bit overboard with it, and from a different point of view.
The reason I said what I said was, and I agree wholeheartedly, that the parents should be more knowledge in what type of game that they're buying their kids, but most aren't, because, and that's why I think the predatory practices is because they don't see the device beyond just a toy. It's a toy for kids, and they think it's strange that we still play these toys. Like, we are the oddballs to a lot of these casual parents who buy this stuff for their kids. When they see guys like us who are avid gamers, we are the, sore thumb. We are the ones who stick out. Like, what's your problem? Have you not matured? They don't. So that's what I meant. But you're right on the money, K-Bomb. It's still the parents' responsibility, because the developers and the ones who are mass producing the game and putting it out are letting you know, hey, this game contains content that is not suitable for minors and kids under this age. Then it is that parent or that guardian's responsibility to guard their children from that. But yeah, you're right on the money. I can't deny that. I had to back off my thought when you said that. I was like, you're right. I had to concede to that.
I'm actually kind of torn on that. I think that what K-Bomb is saying is right. But this is where I'm torn. When it comes to Doom, right? I purchased Doom on the Switch. And I've seen what everyone here is talking about, right? And when it comes to the satanic imagery, it can be kind of like a turnoff. Like, we can't touch that. I don't ascribe to that.
Mm-hmm.
But like, say for me, for example, then like, say if I turn that off and then I turn around and I play like a Call of Duty game, like, I'm killing people on screen. Like, killing people, I mean, wouldn't that be something evil to do? Right? It's like, I'm kind of torn, because it's like, yeah, on one spot, when I see this on the screen, it's like, yo, wow, that's kind of crazy what I just seen. but I've been playing first-person shooters since like SOCOM on the PlayStation 2, right? Like I've probably killed virtually like 1 million people. So it's one of those subjects where it's like, where do you draw the line?
Well, and let me take you here, because it don't just stop with mature games. A lot of Nintendo games have a lot of their religious tendencies,
Eastern religion.
Game.
That's a lot of
like
Eastern.
Fox, Star Fox.
Even Zelda. I've been playing the Zelda, and I see a lot of the Eastern religion inside of Zelda. I see a lot of that.
Well, also Zelda was based off of the Trinity with the also that was wrapped into it too.
Okay.
With Christianity. So but what I'm saying is Nintendo oftentimes draws from their heritage and from their culture, which is nothing wrong with that. But you see Eastern religion practices, Buddhism stuff in there, and it's still the same thing what Jedi Knight was talking about, because what if I don't want my child, you know what I'm saying? And like some of these characters are based off of some of the mythological characters and gods and goddesses from their culture, and is in the game, and you call them Star Fox, but you didn't know that Miyamoto got that idea from one of his gods and goddesses and stuff like that. So that's there too. We all went off to this is random topics, but
that is
but you're right, Jedi. It is, where do you draw the line? Like right now with Wolfenstein and the whole with the Nazis, and the whole subject matter with that game is very controversial right now. And because Hitler and the Nazis took over the world, and now in the game, the subject matter is dealing with taking out the Nazis, and then with that situation that happened in Charlottesville with the neo-Nazis and white supremacy stuff, it created a touchy situation within the game. And
you want to hear something crazy about that now that you're telling me this? I live in Germany. And all the stuff that we see in regards to like World War II Nazism, like in films and games, and then we hear about like the neo-Nazi stuff in the States. Meanwhile, in Germany, everything is fine. It's crazy.
So and that's another reason why some games that people like, we want this localized. Some of them games deal with subject matter that they know could be offensive across seas. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it is you hit an interesting topic, Jedi. It is where is the line drawn in some of this stuff? Where's the line drawn with these symbolisms and using this stuff that might be akin to this culture, but over here could be offensive? And where do you draw a line with this demonic imagery and stuff when you see in the Baphomet and upside down stars and definitely satanic stuff going on in the game? Like Doom really does have a lot of that stuff in it. It ain't just Doom I've seen these type of things in, but it's laced all throughout Doom. And it kind of, and I enjoyed the game, but it started to get kind of annoying and kind of like, man, you taking me out the game with all this stuff. I don't want to look at this stuff. So it's like, I like the game part, but the loader screen is just a Baphomet. And I'm like, I don't want to look at this, and I don't want my kids strolling through here and might see this, So I haven't really even played it in a while. But let me let Keith get in here. He on mute. What you got to say, Keith, before we move on?
Well, I hope that helicopter doesn't come back. I'm standing in my mom's backyard. You're right. That Baphomet thing was probably one of the number one things that turned me off on Doom. And it's not just the simple fact that it's in the game, but it's like the subliminal things. It's like, yeah, I see it, but I can turn it off, in the foreground, but in the back of my mind, it's still there. I remember one time when I first learned about that imagery, I couldn't even go to sleep because I couldn't stop seeing it. And I was like, this is annoying. You know what I'm saying? So I completely understand the imagery. There's the imagery in The Witcher. They got upside down crosses at the, what is it called? Kaer Morhen, wherever the main Witcher hub place is.
Yeah,
there's There's upside down crosses over there. I mean, and I just don't understand the purpose or the point of putting this stuff in there, other than to say that, as for the developers, you know who we are associated with. You know what I'm saying? But there's y'all touched on a lot of stuff that I wanted to jump in on, but I didn't want the echo to mess up anything. Jedi was talking about killing. Okay, so if we want to talk about biblically, there's times where God told the children of Israel to go and kill a whole nation of people and yada yada yada. So I think that's a matter of perspective and what we're talking about. Killing in and of itself, if you just take it and say killing is bad, then you're, I don't know how I want to word it. I knew how I wanted to word it, but I couldn't jump in. But you have to look at it a different way, I guess you can say. But man, y'all brought up a really good topic.
Contextualize it.
Yeah.
Because it's funny that you said that, what you just said about the Bible, and I was, anyway, y'all know me and K-Bum ministers. I was preaching on that, dealing with the Amalekites and how God told King Saul to go and totally eradicate King Agag, all the women and children, and the sheep and cattle. Now, it had a reason behind that if you do your research, but like you said, Keith, if you just broadly say that, then it could be problematic without giving that context. But I also understood what Jedi Knight was saying based on what me and K-Bum was saying, like Call of Duty does at this point now. Call of Duty is just, killing for killing, where back in the day, it had a point to being based around war and all that. But now, what is the main aspect of Call of Duty that is love? It's the multiplayer, killing each other and shooting each other heads off. That's really what most will gravitate to, not the storyline elements of World War II or World War I or future war. That storyline nobody cares about. Matter of fact, the single player nobody really even played. Just give me the multiplayer and let me shoot somebody's head off with this automatic rifle. So you're right though. I agree what you're saying. Who want to jump in before we move on? This is a good topic.
Yeah, I definitely want to respond on that. Yeah, generally, I absolutely agree. I'm not going to disagree with God when God says, "Hey, this is what you're going to do, and you're going to do it because I said so." God said it. But that's different than playing video games and being desensitized from the act in general. Sometimes you have to do things that outside of a particular situation you normally don't do. It seems like you kill off a village and cattle and stuff when God say it. You just don't do it every other day of the week, right? And we're at a stage now to where, with these first-person shooter games, it's become desensitized. Like, look at Battlefield 1. I remember when I first looked at this game looks hyper-realistic, right? Now, for us who are in our, late 20s, late 30s, people who've been playing games since like Nintendo in the 80s, it's different for us, right? When you have these young kids who are now really first experiencing consoles, when it's PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, it's not like you're dealing in the 8-bit era stomping on Koopa Troopers. It's a different situation. It's a level of desensitizing that I feel is legit.
I think that's a very powerful thing you just brought up, and that is, like, if you just sit back and look at all the things that we do, like Level was talking about with the multiplayer, and we just run around killing, like you said, people just completely skip the campaign altogether just to run around and shoot people with snipers. And you are absolutely right when you say desensitizing, because that's exactly what we're getting accustomed to. And there must be a reason for it. You know what I'm saying? There must be some reason that this is happening. But I don't want to get too deep on that. But dude, that's a really strong word. And like, if you just
and to kind of bring that home, it's kind of like now we're talking about like the satanic imagery within this game, like Doom. 20 years from now, that's not going to be a thought, because the desensitizing will have taken its effect already. Like, think about it. You couldn't have Battlefield 1 back in 1995 because we were sitting around talking about and arguing whether, Mortal Kombat should even be a game, right? let alone blowing up entire villages on multiplayer. So it just, with time, this is just what it is, you know. And we're talking about satanic aspects now only because games like, you know, what we play today are already common within this space. Though 10 years ago or 20 years ago it wasn't. So it's a slow grind, but it's coming.
Not to go left. The same thing could be said about sexualizing in video games and stuff. Like years ago, probably the 50s, 60s, 70s, whatever, this type of stuff, you couldn't have women half dressed in places, you know what I mean? And now it's just like, it's commonplace. It's kind of like, why not? I think somebody was talking about Wonder Woman versus the Justice League movie. How in the Wonder Woman movie, the Amazons, they were dressed appropriate. It was still kind of sexual, but they still were more covered up. And then in the Justice League movie, they removed a lot of their garments, and they were like very sexualized. And like people pointed it out and they saw it, but it's like if they never brought that up, you probably would never even caught it because we're so used to seeing women have dress.
I saw that picture at first, and I didn't know what they were pointing out. Because you know, I wasn't reading the information at first. I just saw the picture, and just looking at the picture, the two pictures they showed without the context, I didn't know what they were trying to call out. And then I read, you know, saying what they were trying to say, and then I looked at it again. I was like, oh, okay, now I see it. Yeah, so no, I agree with you on that.
Yeah, but it also goes with what society is doing. It's a trend. Excuse me. Like, we walk the streets now, and I'm sorry, we're completely kind of going left field during this conversation right now. But it's like you when you see stuff like that when it comes to like Wonder Woman, and yet when you walk the streets, when you leave your house and you see women walking the streets in yoga pants, it's like this is why you can see stuff like that as an advertisement, you know. But if you say, hey, just wear like long dresses and cover your knees, you're basically like what is it? Not a womanizer, but it's like what do they call us now? Like anytime you try to say something that's actually respectable.
I know what you're talking about. It's on the tip of my tongue too. But
yeah, and it's like we're not trying to dominate you or control you. We're just saying that you don't got to walk around the streets in yoga pants. You don't got to show everything that you have. That's what we're saying.
Is it chauvinistic? Is that what it is?
Yeah, whatever the words that they like to talk about in order for them to walk around in yoga pants.
but it is you hitting on something because life was whereas games were reflecting life now and movies were reflecting life. It's like now we're reflecting games, we're reflecting movies, we're reflecting music videos. Whereas we at one point it was trying to express what reality was about. Now reality is being based on these fabricated sources of entertainment. Like you said, Jedi Knight, games are desensitizing us to certain things. Whereas, you know, now we don't play the campaign and understand the storyline and what is causing this protagonist to be after this antagonist. And, you know, you don't get the whole drop of what's going on and why you must take out whom you're taking out. No, you just want to get on with some other humans and just shoot and laugh about, I blew your head off, come out that corner, hide, I got you. And then the language plays into it. So they desensitized us from that. Now, and some of this has always been there, but now they are more bold and more comfortable with showing their hands, so to speak. Now where this stuff was hitting within games, now they got it in the loading screen right in your face. We ain't even hiding it. You know what I'm saying? We got all this satanic stuff in your face and we ain't even hiding it. And we even got it in some of your more innocent games and we're not hiding. You know why? Because you desensitized and you so used to seeing it, you don't even pay attention to it. And that's how they got us. And it is scary where some of the subject matter in gaming is going. And I've always wanted to talk about this, but I was like, man, they're going to think we some old folkies and all that. But it's something that we should talk about. Where are we allowing these developers and these creators of this content to take us? And should we have lines where we draw in the sand on that? Remember that one game that was coming out that I think they got so much pressure on it that they banned it.
Where the dude was just going around killing people.
Yeah, he just the whole point of the game was just kill as many people as you could kill.
Was that Manhunt or was that a different game?
No, it's a different game. I can't remember the name of it. It never.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know the game too.
I know what you're talking about.
I don't know the name, but I know what you're talking about. And K-Bomb, you're right. Manhunt, when it came out, did have some controversy around it as well.
Yeah.
I forget the name of the game.
Yeah, I can't remember the game either, but it was basically a dude in a trench coat.
Yes.
The whole point of the game was you got your shotgun, you come out, hatred, something like that.
That was the name of the game. It was hatred. You're right. Good.
Yeah, it's called hatred.
Comment section said his name is Ninsen Gamer. Thanks for that. Yeah, man. Appreciate it.
Ninsen Gamer. Yeah, it was hatred, and all the point is kill pedestrian, kill innocent people, just kill them, and it was the most gruesome, brutal way to do it. But if you think about it, that's nothing but Grand Theft Auto without the storyline. And if what everybody was doing in Grand Theft Auto, what fell in love with Grand Theft Auto was killing pedestrians, running them over and laughing about it. Hatred was that game just made into a game. It was that element of Grand Theft Auto made into its own game. Okay, you like running over pedestrians, you like shooting them, you like killing them and laugh about it.
And now you get points for it.
Now let's just give you a game doing that. But once it was put so boldly in that type of framing, of course, people's like, wait a minute, what do you think that's what we all about? But yeah, because the games you buy suggest that's what you like to do. So it's amazing some of the stuff these developers and studios and companies in gaming are able to give us as gamers. And I don't know how far this rabbit hole, we should let this rabbit hole go. It should be some spot where we say, look, man, this is getting a little too freaky, a little too dark, a little too sinister for even our gaming taste. This is too much.
My question is this: is it too late?
No. I'm not gonna. I don't think there's too late. I mean, too late is saying that there's nothing we can do about the EA issue. So I'm not gonna say that it's too late. But in order to have change, it has to be reform, and it has to be reform. It has to be a standard that we apply to. And now the fact that we want to apply, if we want to apply a standard, is now what standard are we using to apply? Now that is the part I don't think we can actually agree upon, because then you get back into the argument is that we have adults playing the game, and then you have people who say, well, you have people who don't care about any religion, so shouldn't they be allowed to have synthetic things in there since it means nothing to them? But I don't think it's too late for us to try to make a change. I just don't know if it's too late for us to actually be successful in changing. If you guys actually understand what I'm trying to make.
It ain't too late to try, but we might be to a point of no return already.
Yeah, because look at the society. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Thank you.
I think that's what Keith was basically alluding to too.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
I think one way they can do it if they make a rating beyond the MA. Like you got rated R, you got NC-17, then you got XXX. Everybody know what XXX is. NC-17 and rated R, you don't really know what that is. In mature game is like saying rated R movie. If they can make something that really triggers the mind to know, hey, this is beyond rated R, and you like literally making something equivalent to XXX, I think parents and people will get it. It might entice some, but it might also cause others to kind of avoid it because they don't want that type of experience.
What you would see is you would see gamers and gaming companies get as close to that XXX without actually being XXX.
Yeah,
it's what you will actually see. They would just say, okay, what can we take out of here to not have that rating, but go as close to it as they can.
Because rated R basically is that now. Anyway, let's move on, man. I think that was a good topic. We might need to come back to.
That's really good. I think it's a really good topic.
I think it is definitely, and I think as a photographer for mature, the mature-minded gamers. That don't mean age-wise. Just I think mature gamers already think like this. I do. There's a lot of games like I told you I never bought and I thought the demo I played was cool, but the subject matter I just could not do it. What was that? Dante's Inferno. I never bought it. Grand Theft Auto. For a long time, I refused to buy it based on what I watched people do and what they enjoyed about the game. I mean, even Dave Chappelle had a sketch done that demonstrated what really people really gravitated to in Grand Theft Auto when he had a little one where he got the car and got a gun that was shooting people. He was getting all these points, and his cop rating or his crime rating was going up. And that's literally crazy that you got a crime rate, stars for crime rate, and the higher you get it is a bonus to get your crime rate up. Like, we really are, like Jedi Knight said, desensitizing our kids, our teens, and even our young adults to not take this stuff as serious as they should take it, because that could condition the mind to forget that you are in reality now. You're not on a game, and kind of that line can be broke for some people, believe it or not. But let's go on, man. What else do y'all want to talk about? Is there any particular...
it's funny, man, because listen to us talk. We sound similar to, when I was a kid, the old fogies used to be talking about video games, and now we are talking about it in that manner. But I think it's just a mature mindset of looking at it. It's not that it's just video games. There's so much behind what you're actually doing that sometimes you don't see it. And like Jedi said about the desensitizing, like that is a real thing. That literally does happen. That's what, if you ever listen to how they treat, I'm letting us get off this. This is the last thing. I'm gonna let us get talk to something else. But if you ever listen to how the warmongers, when they get little children into the army, if you ever listen to how they treat the children, what they do for them, what they do is that I believe they allow them to shoot like other young kids or whatever. But it's the fact that they want to desensitize them to war, to make it seem like it's a normal thing, and death and murder. And so they're doing it in real life, but this is a visual representation of that desensitizing. But that's the first thing they do, is they desensitize them from war, from fighting, from bloodshed, from murder. And so, yeah, I'm done. I just wanted to say that last piece, and I'm walking away from the conversation.
Yeah, I think that was a good one. So I agree, man. That's something we're going to need to come back on, and I think even other gamers and mature gamers need to start talking about that more. Is there any particular game that y'all are looking forward to either coming the rest of this year or next year that y'all want to talk about? Each person, it don't matter. Just a game that you are looking forward to playing.
Is anybody interested in Xenoblade?
Man, why did you do that, Keith?
Just wondering.
I'm not an RPG fan, so I feel like this. For me, I'm interested in the game, but the controls offsets that make me not want it, because I don't believe I'm going to stick with it, not being able to fully control my character, meaning I attack when I push the button to attack, not it automatically attacking when I get around some creature or whatever is attacking it on its own. I don't like that. And that's what made me not buy Xenoblade X Chronicles 2. I mean, X Chronicles is because of that. I didn't buy it for that reason. So I don't think I'm going to get it, even though I'm curious about the game. I don't think I'm going to get it. I'm being honest with you.
I mean, other than that game, I think that was the only game that I was thinking about. But right now, I still got Assassin's Creed Origins I got to finish. I just bought ReCore. There's still when is the Zelda stuff coming? That I still want to play that. I don't know. I think I'm done. I think I'm done this year.
Yeah.
No more money.
What about you, Jedi? Any game that's on your radar that you looking forward to playing or desire to look forward to picking up?
Not a game that is currently in development that has been stated publicly, but I don't like 3D Mario games. So I would love to get a new Super Mario game that is a 2D platformer. And I was listening to one of the older podcasts from you guys, and somebody was bringing up how innovative it was within the Mario Odyssey game, how they implemented the 2D aspect of Mario. Yeah. And as I'm listening to the podcast, right, I'm like, yo, you know what? It got kind of like my blood flowing again. Like, yeah, I would love to be able to play a 2D Mario and, you know, really just get that enjoyment in. That's more my speed, the 2D. So I really hope that Nintendo has something in store for us people who really enjoy the 2D multi-plat Mario games.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, it's enough 2D elements in that Mario Odyssey. I won't tell you to buy, but it might make it worth buying. Put it like that. I don't know if Keith would agree with that. I think there's enough 2D.
Are you able to use the D-pad though? Because from what I hear, you can't use the D-pad.
No, you can't use the D-pad. Nah.
They dropped the ball on that. When you have the 2D part, they should allow you to use the D-pad.
I think because the D-pad already has certain things attributed to it. Already. But when you go into that space, you can't use Cappy or nothing. So I don't see how it would have. Shouldn't have hindered them from being able to do it, because in the 2D space, all you could do is the traditional jump and run and speed run forward. That's it. So they could have used the D-pad to do it. And when you came out of that 2D element and go back into the 3D space, all those triggers on the D-pad come back. So yeah, they could have done it. Now that I think about it.
You know what would have made that game a little bit better? If the outfits that you get actually did something. Like, let's say, I can't fly, but if I get a certain outfit, and like kind of lock the outfit behind like going up a tall mountain and trying to find it, kind of like in Breath of the Wild. If I go get this outfit, I can be able to fly over this lava that I couldn't previously be able to do. Now I know that's more Zelda, Metroid type of thing, but I think that would have made this Odyssey game a little bit better, in my opinion, though.
I can see what you're saying, almost like what Mega Man do when he get the power ups. The suit did a certain power.
Right.
Yeah, that might be something they might need to entertain for the future. Any K-Bomb, any game you looking forward to playing? Anything else on your wish list?
It's not. I have a game, but something I was really looking forward to today. I've gotten droves, and I'm so happy. And I've told this man before, but I love the way this man says Mario. This is. I've been looking forward to this moment for a while now, and I've been enjoying it today. So just listen. This next time, if you go back to the podcast, people listen to the podcast. Just go back to the podcast and rewind for like 5 minutes ago and listen to this man say Mario is the most amazing thing you'll ever hear for the next 25 minutes. So
Red Knight said it like that.
Say it like that.
Mario.
I love it, man. That's how we know it. We got Jedi Knight in the building when we start hearing that. So the game I'm looking for, it doesn't come out this year. But it's a game. Now that I have my Pro, I have to get me a 4K TV whenever the wife lets me. I have to give me a 4K TV because I have to play God of War in this 4K. Oh my! It has to be a thing. So the game I'm looking for coming out in the first quarter of next year. I believe it's February. I believe it comes out, if I'm not mistaken. But it's God of War. That's the game I'm looking for. Looking forward to. Like I said, it's close enough to be considered in this conversation, and it's God of War for me.
Okay. I'm a go out of the box because this game has not been announced. We don't know if it's going to come or not. But before I say the game, I'm going to say what triggered this for me. I was listening to one of me and Keith's favorite podcasts. Well, it ain't my favorite podcast, but I enjoy listening to him. And for that particular podcast, he did like a retro. He played a retro audio of when he went to the GameCube premiere in New York, where they let them try out all the different games, and they were talking about this particular game that launched with the GameCube, and that was Luigi's Mansion. And I was just sitting back and I was like, you know what? I would love for them to be working on a Luigi Mansion for the Switch. Cause that's a game that I want. I enjoyed Luigi Mansion on the GameCube, and I wanted to play the one on the 3DS. And I'm not even a handheld type guy, but the little videos and trailers that I saw of the game, I wanted to play that. And I'm hoping that next year a surprise Luigi Mansion entry into the IP of Luigi Mansion happens, because I think that game is a very underappreciated game. I don't know if Keith and Jedi and I agree with that, but I thought Luigi Mansion was a great game when it came out. Had a lot of great ideas, a lot of things that they were trying to do with it was great. And I liked even how they incorporated some of that into Nintendo Land with one of the mini games within Nintendo Land had you doing something with the Ghost and Luigi Mansion type stuff. So I would love, and I always thought that game was just a forerunner for a possible re-entry into Luigi's Mansion, but then we end up getting the Luigi Mansion for the 3DS. So I ain't know if that's what it was alluded to, but I think the Switch, the game pad was ideal for Luigi's Mansion. And now that you got the Joy-Cons, I think it's even more ideal for it. But that's a game that I would love to see. But the game I'm also looking forward to is God of War. The more I watch that game, I want to see where this story is taking Kratos and his boy. I want to see what's going on with these gods. And the one god that came out and kind of spit out his axe. And the kid, he said, what is he saying? And the kid said he wants to help us. That part right there sold the game for me. Like, okay, I got to see what's going on with this game. I just want to see what's going on with the storyline. So, K-Bub, I'm with you. I want to see God of War. And then I don't know what else is coming out. If Metroid Prime 4 is coming, I want to see what that's about. But they're the ones I want. Luigi Mansion is a game I want to see.
Forgot about Metroid Prime 4. I'm excited again. Luigi's Mansion, when it came out, was a technical marvel. From what I remember, they had real-time cloth physics. They had real-time reflections in the mirrors. A lot of people, thought that, it was questionable. Like, wow, this little bitty game, nobody wants to play this. It's all QT and stuff like that. But there was a lot of stuff and a lot of techniques that Nintendo was doing. I want to say Digital Foundry did like a video on it. And they were talking about the technical things that Nintendo was doing at that time with the GameCube. And then when I go back and I think about it, because I know that episode you're talking about with when Danny went back and and everybody on the show was like, hey, I really like the GameCube. I don't like the Xbox. But no, Nintendo was doing a lot of crazy things graphically back in the GameCube era that a lot of people just throw under the bridge. Oh, Nintendo has never cared about graphics. The GameCube, they did a lot of stuff like the real-time water physics with wave rays and all the different things that they were doing. Nintendo doesn't get a lot of praise for graphics, but go back and look at that GameCube level. You absolutely right, man. I would love to see another Luigi's Mansion, and I hope that the days are behind us where Nintendo can't figure out which platform to put it on, because I feel like the one that came to 3DS should have came to the Wii U, and I think it would have did a lot better on the Wii U, and it probably would have helped the Wii U sell more. I think a lot of those 3DS games that they put on the 3DS should have went to the Wii U, and it would have did a whole lot better.
I agree, and I think that's what happened was I think Nintendo knew the writing was on the wall with the Wii U way before we did, and probably like put that on our best-selling device, which is the 3DS. But anybody else got something to say? Even the game that hasn't been announced that they want to see come back or whatever.
Actually, given that K-Bomb mentioned what he wanted to do with God of War in 4K, I want to finish the Uncharted series that I have not finished. But when I picked up the Batman game the other day, I seen the Uncharted, the Lost Chapters or Lost Story?
Legacy.
The Lost Legacy. I want to play that as well as the last Uncharted. And I definitely want to play those games in 4K. I heard that those games look like, I'm seriously impressed with the remaster of the Uncharted series. I haven't even played like this generation's Uncharted games. And the last generation Uncharted games remastered looks phenomenal. And also from Naughty Dog, the series that they did with the zombies. And pardon me, for some reason I'm forgetting all these names. But I want to play these games too with the little girl.
Last of Us?
The Last of Us, yeah. So of course, just my style of gaming, I do a lot of backlogging. So all of these games are absolutely new to me. But I definitely want to get on those last two Uncharted games for this generation and The Last of Us. I think playing those, you know, in higher resolution and getting some HDR going would be a complete game changer. I remember when I first purchased my GTX 960 and I played Tomb Raider on ultra settings on 1080p, and I was absolutely just destroyed, melted by the graphical fidelity. It was awesome. So I don't even know what to expect with this 4K right now.
You're gonna be blown away, man. Real talk. You're gonna be blown away. Let me ask this: who here has played Uncharted Lost Legacy? Anybody?
Nope.
I haven't. I know they have it on sale though for $40 by my local store.
That's interesting, man, because you know that game is led by minority, you know, black and brown protagonists and females. That's interesting that I don't hear many people talk about it. And it's an Uncharted game.
And the thing for me, it has nothing to do with the characters, but it has to do with the fact that it's so close to 4,
Uncharted 4,
and it's so similar to 4. And to me, that's kind of the issues I have with the game and why I haven't gone out to play it, because just looking at it and how it looks looks like the way it plays, it seems very similar to 4. And I'm like, I enjoy 4. It was an amazing game, but I'm not ready to play 4 again. 4.5.
I'm with you. And that's what did it for me, man, was, and 3 did this, but then some elements of 4, when they were showing the trailer, got me back. But you said it right, K-Bub. I enjoyed 4 for what it was. And Jedi, I think you will too. But I ain't in no rush to play 4 again. I'll play Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider again 3 or 4 times, but I don't know. I just felt 4 just felt churry for some reason to me. It just felt, I don't know. It was good, it was fun, but it just got churry towards the end. And like, I'm just ready to get this story over with. I don't want to play the game no more. I just want to see the end of the storyline. So that's what kept me going. The actual game had got annoying to me real early, like especially the scenes where you run it. Oh, I don't want to spoil it for Jedi. Dang it. Okay, never mind. But those scenes where you are young.
Well, you can talk about it, brother. The spoiling that doesn't bother me.
Okay. The scenes where you running through the memories of Nathan as the child.
Yeah. I love that game. I love it way more than you. But I didn't like that part either.
I couldn't stand it. And every time one would pop up, I would get so annoyed. Like, this is not what I want to do in this game. And
I agree.
So I think that kind of did ruin Lost Legacy. I need to go get that. And Keith hit on the game that I got to get to, which I said will be my last game for this holiday season. But I think I've already spent past what I should. And that's Assassin's Creed Origin. So I'll probably have to wait even next year for that. So I think I'm done right now.
Yeah, I would definitely say wait on it. But I'm glad you brought up Rise of the Tomb Raider. I don't know if you played Rise of the Tomb Raider yet, but it's very rare that I would play a game multiple times. I played through that game twice within like months from having it, and I was like, wow, I actually must have really enjoyed Rise of the Tomb Raider. Rise of the Tomb Raider is a really good game. For anybody who's listening who has never played it, play that game. It's really that good.
And I have it downloaded. It's actually downloaded on my PlayStation. But it's kind of like what I was saying. It's backlogged right now. And so hopefully maybe this winter break, when I take some time off, I can try to go back through my backlog. But I do want to play this. I know you both of you guys have told me, because I played the first one remastered one that came out, and I didn't get all the way through. I played some of that. I wasn't too fond of that. But now you both of you, Level and Keith, have kind of told me that this one is pretty good.
I'll be right back. Just a second.
Yeah, that this one is pretty good, and I should probably play this one. So,
you talking about Tomb Raider?
Yeah, Tomb Raider one.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, you didn't like the first one? Or what'd you say?
I didn't play it all the way through. I played a little bit of it, and I didn't care too much for what I played. It was kind of slow, maybe because it was towards the beginning of it. It was kind of slow, and I said I wasn't at my house. I was playing on my buddy's Xbox, and it was really slow. Some of the scenes, and so I wasn't too. It was the one, with Laura. They kind of restarted it, and she was supposed to be a vulnerable Laura Croft because she, it's not the one that we've seen for years. They kind of redid it, and so she was very green when it came to what she was doing, and so I didn't care too much for it. Like I said, I probably didn't play enough of it to actually get into it. Game to actually get the legs on itself and get the rolling, but that's what I'm saying. That was my first experience and how I felt when playing the first one.
The first one.
I was going to
say the first one is a lot different than the second one. I think I agree with you with the first one. It took a while for it to get going. I would put the first one how I feel about Uncharted 4. Kind of a similar feel to me. Like I wouldn't want to play through the first one again, but the second one, Keith right on the money. If you ain't played Rise of the Tomb Raider, you missing out on a good game. I'll put that along how Uncharted 2 felt to me. That's how Rise of the Tomb Raider feel to me. And I can play both of them games multiple times through and still enjoy it as if I was playing it the first time.
I actually did play Tomb Raider, the reboot or whatever we want to call it, multiple times. I played it first on the PlayStation 3, and at the same time, I also had Uncharted 3. I couldn't get through Uncharted 3, but I did finish Tomb Raider. And y'all are right, it is a little slower because I ended up buying it again on PC for like $7. I was like, why not? And then I get to play it in full 1080p. And it took me a while to play through it again. As a matter of fact, I actually put it down. I was like, I kind of don't really feel like doing this no more. But I did eventually finish it. They're both good games, but that Rise, man, ooh, that's a different beast.
Okay. Matter of fact, I'm gonna check my PlayStation Store now because I got a new hard drive, so I need to re-download it. So I'm gonna do that right now.
Okay.
Is Rise of the Tomb Raider on PC as well?
Yeah.
Yes, you can find it on Steam and you can find it in the Windows Store, whichever one you want to play it on.
All right, cool. Then I'll pick that up then.
Okay. Anything else, man? I think we kind of exhausted. It's about 5:33. Y'all got anything else y'all want to talk about, or y'all want to get out of here? Don't be the first to jump on.
I guess I'll have to kind of catch up a little bit. With that said, since it's been so long since I've been around, I just wanted to let you guys know that it'll be back to a normal schedule for me. My job situation has changed, so definitely on Sundays, I will be available for the podcast.
Okay, cool. So I know I ain't gonna be available every Sunday, but the ones that I am, I'll definitely try to jump on more frequently than we were. So, but yeah, let's try to make it more frequent than it was. But man, we still didn't even get a chance to talk about you and K-Bum meeting up. But I guess we can talk about that the next time. I don't know.
Yeah, we can talk about that offline. We can talk about that the next podcast as well. I mean, it was definitely a good experience. K-Bomb is a good dude.
He all right. His wife better than him. I like his wife better.
Well, I already told you. I don't care less about you.
Mad at me when I try to hook his stuff, electricity that's hanging off.
I already told you. You leave one of them twins. Come on up to where I'm at. Drop one of them twins off, and you can go about your business. I don't know which one it is. Talk to
wife on that. She ain't letting one of them twins go.
Let me get one of them twins. Them things. Them babies so adorable.
Things.
So I said baby. I switched it and said baby.
I'm messing.
Baby. That baby so adorable.
Yeah, Jedi, you gotta ask K-Bum about when I basically trying to help. My help turned into
broke my PS4.
I didn't break it. See that? There you go. I didn't break it. but I almost did. You might have-
You did.
You almost did. I like that.
Yeah, you did.
But anyway, Keith, you got anything else to say before we get out of here?
No, sir, I'm good.
All right.
Oh, actually, I did have one more. I did have one game that it's not in existence that I would love to see pop up again. I think it'll be very quick, and that's an Avengers or Marvel crossover game. The last really good ones that we had, if you guys remember back in the day, was Marvel Alliance that came out in the PS2 days.
I remember that.
I remember that.
RPG games. We have not had a good Marvel game in general. Other than Lego or Versus, we have not had outside of those another good Marvel game. I would love for them to come out with.
Hold up, K-Bun. We got an eavesdropper down here trying to tell me what I don't remember. One of your favorite people, bro. My wife down here talking stuff on the side.
What she said?
She said, you don't remember nothing. I was like, don't be down here messing up my vibe. Look at her. She better be like you. You better be lucky I like you. Gone. But anyway, go ahead and finish what you were saying, K-Bun.
No, I was just saying that they haven't had a really good Marvel game other than the Lego and the Versus game, and I would love for them to bring something like the Marvel Alliance back because they actually have it remastered in the PlayStation Store. You can buy both of them, and I would love to actually see a new version of that come back since Marvel is so a big thing right now.
That's what's up. Now I wasn't never really big on that game, but I know about it. But that'd be cool. But yeah, man, Jedi man, it was good to have you back on, man. It's been a while. Good to hear your voice. Good to hear Mario, and good to have Keith on here. We got to figure out what's going on with D2K, man.
Has D2K been around?
Yeah, he's been around. It's been like the last 2 podcasts he hasn't been on. So, and I think it's something with I don't think I'm getting alerts to him fast enough because something happened with my computer where it lost all my Google Hangout, all the people that I was friends to is gone. So the only way I can get him a link is sending it through a conversation and putting the link up in there like I did with you on Twitter. So I got to figure out how to get D2K back in my list so I can send it directly to him so he get that alert. But yeah, man, it's been a good podcast. Enjoyed you fellas. Enjoyed the conversation. Got on some mature stuff, some grown man conversation. And hopefully those who listen to the podcast is enlightened and maybe put thought in their mind about certain games and why things are going on in games, like the satanic stuff and the desensitization going on in games. All this stuff need to be talked about. So we would definitely pick that topic up again at some point in the future. But till then, man, I'm gonna let you guys sign out, starting with Jedi Knight.
Yeah, it was a pleasure to be back, gentlemen. Next week or when the next podcast occurs, I will be participating. Much thanks to everybody.
Now, is this logo your own personal one?
Yeah, this is a custom logo. Like when we go offline, I got to tell you guys what I've been doing, but this is a personal logo of mine. I left work and I'm currently working for myself, doing some other stuff. But we'll speak offline.
Okay, because that mother look fly. I like that.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Keith.
Yo, I'm glad I was able to join. I didn't think I was going to be able to, but it was good talking to everybody. Good hearing Jedi's voice. Also, of course, like always, I always remember something. There's a new Batman animated movie coming out called Batman Samurai, something like that. But it's going to be, the trailer shows like Batman and the Joker like fighting with swords. I thought it was pretty dope. And it's like real deal animation, like anime, I mean. So
yeah,
I think it's pretty dope.
I had to look that trailer up. That's what's up, man. I hope y'all hear my kids trying to play drums upstairs, but they just beating on everything. Like K-Bun say, my little tribe, my little village upstairs. But go ahead, man.
Nah,
this is K-Bomb 20, man. Join the podcast. Good to have Jedi back on the cast. I heard that. I don't know what that was. Good to have Jedi back on the cast, man. Have some of his insight and drop some of them big words that they be dropping. Other than that, man, have some fun, man. Can't wait to talk to y'all next Thursday.
Okay. With that being said, this is your boy Levelhead signing out. Enjoyed you guys. Till next time, deuces.